Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Jackie Broman here from Legally Wise Women. And today I wanted to talk about lawyers as peacemakers because we can be. Usually it is those lawyers who are collaboratively trained. However, there are a lot of lawyers who are collaboratively minded, or they do restorative justice, or they've also been mediation trained. So there's a whole lot of extra training that lawyers can do, which that then does sort of tend to take us away from a more traditional approach and really look at the process of conflict resolution as a healing process rather than a process that has to be adversarial, or looking at their role as just being a hired gun to inflict revenge or as much damage as possible. So I'd like to think that a lot of us studied law to actually help people, and so resolving conflict is one way that we can do that. Unfortunately, when we come out of the law degree, though, we are then sort of trained to think that the way to resolve someone's conflict is to do it in the adversarial system, which is sometimes far more damaging than the original conflict in the first place. However, approaching the conflict in the right way, in a collaboratively done way, with a team of professionals who actually help and support the people who are going through the conflict, can actually be quite healing. What a collaborative process does is make sure that a whole lot of things that might have been unsaid can actually be said, that the underlying issues can be explored, that there can be a greater understanding between the parties, the word sorry can be said, and it's not... Many lawyers who then have been in the adversarial system think that it's like sitting around holding hands, but I beg to differ. I think, in fact, that it takes far more emotional intelligence to sit in conflict with a client and actually work through the hard stuff instead of having this outsourced, arm's length, indirect conflict, which is really what the adversarial system is, because it's indirect in that most of negotiations happens via correspondence. It limits what is said because a lot of things go unsaid. There's a very formal process to follow through court procedure, and there are strict rules about who and how people talk when they're in a courtroom. Whereas in a collaborative process, there are very few rules. In fact, the main rule is that everyone agrees that they don't want to go to court, and so that they agree to resolve the process collaboratively. And the other rule is that we all support each other to get to a resolution, no matter what the process along the way looks like or how winding it is to get there. Now, it's interesting because there's so many people who don't have many conflict skills. It's a skill that is being lost because we are outsourcing it more and more. And quite often there's many people who've grown up without ever seeing adults resolve conflict in a way that is not harmful. So sometimes the process where a team of professionals work the way through with a couple or with a family who are in dispute, it's the first time that they've seen it demonstrated. And so many skills are built up by the people who are being helped through the process that not only does it actually resolve that conflict, it gives them the skills to be able to talk to each other about other things that will arise. Because we're not tearing families apart, and it is families that are the best candidates for a collaborative process, but you can also see that it could be applied as well for business partnerships or family businesses. It's family anyway. So I really want to, I guess, try and get it out there more and more that finding the right lawyer is so important. And if you do want the process resolved and to actually retain a relationship with the person that you're in conflict with, perhaps collaboratively doing it is the way to go. So if you do have any queries about how the process works or how to find professionals that are collaboratively trained, reach out to me. You can direct message me, or you can find me at legallywisewomen.com.au, email me there, Jackie at, or jump across onto Facebook, and I've got a legal support group for women there which you can jump into, and I can give you links and referrals in there. So I'll catch you again next week. I hope that's helpful. Have a great week. See you then.